Well, hello Riven mains and Yasuo mains alike. I'm the Nightwing, Wave Life Esports, coming at you guys with another League of Legends video. Just a few things I want to say before I actually get into my topic today is that the reason why I had to take down the play-ins, thoughts and opinions video is that I didn't like the audio that came out with that video. I had been having audio issues that had been going on for a couple days, and I chose to, take that and resolve the issue, delete the video, and get you guys a better stable audio-esque video, because for my main channel, I actually have just hit 2,000 subscribers, so I just didn't want to, put that over here when I know the way to make better content, since I've been doing YouTube for the better part of like almost 4 years at this point, or 4 years almost at this point. So it's something I didn't want to have over here. So for the play-in video, since you guys actually watched it, and I was really surprised that a lot of people cared about the play-in teams and a lot of those other minor region-esque teams like Turkey and Brazil and the other places like the LST, the LJL, and a lot of the other regions, was that I'm going to be doing a recap of the play-ins and the playoff best of fives. I'm going to let the Splice and Hong Kong Attitude best of fives conclude tonight. Once that concludes, I'll give my opinions on the play-ins and I'll give my opinions on the best of five. But right now, I want to just do a video talking about NA's chances of doing well at Worlds 2019. So normally, North America is a joke at international events, but more or less so, it's always just been Cloud9 that's always kind of carried North America. If you think otherwise or say otherwise, you're probably just super blind or a troll, even if you don't like Cloud9 from North America, because you feel entitled that TSM or Team Liquid should be the ones doing better, or even CLG in some cases when they went to international events and had their success at the 2016 mid-season invitational, is that it's normally just been Cloud9 with the random spurt of a team we send as a top seed like CLG during 2016 spring, and obviously Team Liquid when we sent them this year to the 2018 mid-season invitational. But what I want to give a breathing room to North America is the reason why, more or less of the times, people can always say there's different reasons why North America fails at Worlds, is I think they fail more or less so due to choking, and maybe the players obviously aren't willing to adapt. We know a lot of players have talked about that in interviews after certain world championships have concluded, where the point where the meta shifted outside of what the region was able to play, and they weren't able to adapt. Now, I personally value adaptability very high in terms of a good player. It doesn't matter if patches change. It doesn't matter about any of that, because you have to factor in, this is your job. This is what you're getting paid for. So at people's jobs every day, there's something that could change on the fly. You could get promoted and have to learn new things. You could obviously be put into a different field where you have to learn new things. Even if you're going to school, you could obviously be learning. You're learning something new, like in 4 years of college and even high school. You always have to be able to adapt to the situation, and that's why I value adaptability very high in certain and a lot of pro players, because I feel like being adaptable and being able to do multiple different things just as well as you're being able to do your main thing really does matter to a certain point, because you give yourself more of a chance to be a lot better of a player. Now, looking at this year specifically for North America, Cloud9 is obviously slotted into G2 and Griffin's group. They're most likely going to be getting either they already have they could theoretically get Unicorns of Love or Splice, or they can't get Splice, so that means, or Unicorns of Love potentially, because of how that's going to work. So with that being said, you have to look at just how the teams are going to have to be placed right now. Now, let's just start with Clutch, because Clutch just finished playing Royal Youth. I'll give my full thoughts and opinions on the Clutch and Royal Youth series when I get my play-ins video and play-ins, obviously playoffs, best of fives matches. I'll give my full thoughts and opinions on how they played against Royal Youth and how they played overall at the tournament so far. But Clutch so far have shown that in best of ones, they are not that strong in terms of what needs to be out of a team. and that poor objective control can really hurt them. Now, against better teams, it's going to actually hurt them a lot more. And if they lost to Unicorns of Love, and they lost twice, and that's like, losing once is probably like, okay, whatever, things happen. Unicorns of Love, at one point were in the EULCS, Sheepy and obviously Edward are well-known, and a coach and a well-known player. They obviously know how to punish a team for those type of things. But remember, this is still not the same Unicorns of Love since 2015, 2016, 2017. Even 2018 Unicorns of Love was decent at some various points. So Clutch needs to work on the best of one format and the specific style they can thrive with in best of fives. It's not going to be the style they can thrive with in best of ones. I feel like for Clutch, in order to survive what is going to be most likely the group of death, is you have to be able to convert your style into a best of one. Play your own game. I do advocate for that, but you need to be able to play a different way, because I feel like if you come in standard to the Worlds 2019, and this goes for every single other region as well, whether you're a VCIS fan, an EU fan, or an LCK fan, or LPL fan, playing multiple different styles of things and being good at them is what the year and or even last year has shown, that doing that for League has been able to make teams a lot more better, and it's opened people's eyes that playing the game at not just non-standard was the way overall to do better. Now, with that being said, I feel like marginally Clutch have the weaker players if they go into Group C. Yeah, they're going to be going into Group C most likely. So you have to face up against players like Reckless, Faker, Uzi, the big names of League of Legends. So their big thing is that you play through your strong side. I feel like that you need really key early game draft picks. Cody Sun is, as we have seen throughout play-ins, and we've seen throughout their recent best of 5 against Royal Youth, that he's able to be a shining star on, specific picks like the Lucian, like Kaisa, things like that. And I feel like they won't be, him and Vulcan are going to have a hard time facing off against the better bot lanes. But remember, best of one scenarios, anything can happen. People vastly do underestimate. Yes, these players are better, but these guys are also pro players as well. Anything can happen. You have to kind of understand that they are on some equal level of footing at the end of the day, but it's just not to the same level of equalness as most people would like to say. Like, Bjergsen is not obviously as good as Faker, and that's just how it's going to be. But I feel like just for Clutch specifically, you need to play through your top side and 80 carry side of the map. Jungle should be focusing all of his attention on that, because I don't feel like Lyra can self-sufficiently get leads on his own to the point where it's going to take over a game. Like, he's not like Khan, he's not like Svenskeren, he's not like Yankos. It's just, he's a basic average jungler who does his job well. It's kind of like a less version of Smithy, which can be good in some cases. So that's what I would say for Clutch in order to have what you could be as useful strengths for getting out of groups at Worlds 2019. Most likely not going to happen. They're probably going to go like 1-6. Let's be completely honest here. I'm just being completely honest with you guys, but hey, I gotta give them some type of shot. All right, so the next seed is my boys in blue, Cloud9. They're obviously going to have a big tough, stride, taking off Griffin and then taking off against G2 Esports, my other favorite League of Legends organization. I love G2 and I love me some Cloud9, but it's Riot cursing me putting my favorite two teams in the same group. Thank you, Riot, but it only makes it that much more sweeter if Cloud9 could beat Griffin and G2. Now, how are Cloud9 going to beat G2 and Griffin? That is probably even just the hardest task as Clutch possibly beating SKT, Fnatic, or RNG. That is going to be hard because you factor in, we haven't seen Cloud9 since their TL final, so we don't know specifically if they improved on said issues like bot lane issues, or have they improved on playing the game differently, because the way they play the game is strong mid laner with strong aggressive picks, early game pressure. Licorice is able to, dominate 1v1s consistently, and or get CS leads by roaming with Svenskeren. Niski, Svenskeren, and Licorice are obviously the shining points about Cloud9. So with that being said, if they're going to be able to win games against Griffin or G2 or wherever team that comes into their group, they're going to have to win through them consistently. We know Licorice can carry games, we know Svenskeren can carry games, we know Niski can carry games, but this is the issue. The issue is the bot lane, and that's the problem, is because their issues in bot lane reflect the problems that Damwon had in their bot lane. The reason why Damwon didn't get punished by their bot lane being being actually bad is because the playing teams were just that much weaker than them, so they're not going to get punished by those things. Whether or not the coach revealed that they're choking or not is inconsequential. Their bot lane has been bad for a very long time, so it doesn't really matter. And same thing with Cloud9's bot lane. I feel like Zeyzal got better as the season progressed, while Sneaky just kind of just went flatlined. And it doesn't matter if there's a better ADC in his position. The issue is he knows how to turn around a game and improve. He can carry games. It's been done before consistently. People always said, yeah, he's kind of meh in North America, but at World Championships, he's actually played a lot better, which is true. But, you know, past precedents don't take the precedent into now. You know, we have to go on what was been going on during the most of the year. He played out of his mind in Spring Split. He was my AD carry, my top All-Pro NALCS ADC for Spring. You guys know that. I was very open about that. I thought he played out of his mind. Him and Core JJ are playing great, but in summer he's marginally dipped down, and in the TL series he was a weak point as to the reason why they lost. Whether you choose to agree with it or not, it is something that was the case there. And how is he going to handle Perks, Mickey, and Viper and Layhands with Zeyzal? Now against whatever wildcard team makes it in the group, they'll be okay. I feel like they're competent enough to take down whatever bot lane that is. But against these better bot lanes, it's a problem because Viper and Layhands are flexible, and so is Mickey and Perks, and that's the problem. So I feel like it's not going to be a consistent way they can win through the bot lane. I would say a consistent way is winning through topside, but then this is the problem with why Cloud9's group is so hard, is because Griffin and G2 all have strong top sides. Griffin has the weaker strong top side because their top laner is actually pretty weak. I do not agree with people when they say Sword and Doran is good. Doran is good for what it is, but he's not like a superstar like these other players are. So you have Chovy, Tarzan, Doran, Yankos, Wonder, and Caps. Now, say what you want about Caps, Wonder, they are really good individual players. You sleep on them, you're losing games. That's just how it is. So I don't feel like, even with their more or less so worser recent performances that they showed in EU, I don't think that's the same G2 we're going to see at an international event. And why I can say that is because, remember, back when people said they were trolling in EU, went to MSI, obviously did way better, and they obviously won the event. Now, that's obviously going to be a little bit harder right now because there's more teams here than when it was at MSI. Now, with that being said, Cloud9's going to have to obviously draft certain picks that work specifically for them. We've seen them at World Championships win games by specifically drafting certain picks that work for them. Like the Singe in the past when they had Impact, obviously drafting like Echo, drafting things like the Zillion, the Nocturnes, the Shens. Them finding their own unique way is going to be a way they can win. I don't doubt they could beat G2 or Griffin in games. I don't doubt that. Is it going to be hard? It's going to be really hard, but I do believe the boys can do it, and I hope G2 and Cloud9 make it out of the group. Alright, so moving on to our number 1 seed in Team Liquido. Now, there's several different ways TL's group can play out. Obviously, Splice could be in there, Damwon could be in there, but remember, from what we saw out of Damwon's performances, or Splice's in some cases, it's not very, very improbable that TL can make it out as first seed. TL's strengths is not really in terms about flexibility. The players on TL aren't really going to be flexible. Jensen is a flexible player, and so is Impact. I believe those players can do the whole flexible nature. We've seen it on Cloud9 when they were on it multiple different times. Impact has transitioned between a tank player and a carry player finally. That's a good thing. And you know, Jensen was obviously able to play the supportive Zillion style. We know he's a flexible player. With that being said, where is TL really going to exploit teams such as IG? Because remember, pretty much so, who's the real competition in their group? It's IG. And if they get Splice, we'll take it from both scenarios. If Splice are in there, I'll give reasons for that. And then if Damwon are in there, I'll give reasons for that. So let's go with the weaker team, which is obviously going to be, let's say Splice make it in. Theoretically, right? The way TL and Splice play very, very similar. It just depends on what draft they have. You could have early game draft picks with a lot of scaling, late game picks with early game power. It just depends, honestly, because Kabe and Norskaren are theoretically weaker than Doublelift and Core JJ. I would say Core JJ makes up the difference, and I would say their bot lane has the edge. Now, when it comes to mid lane, I believe Humanoid could be Jensen. I'm not delusional. I could very, very well so believe that, and I could see that happening. The mid lane he's weaker, but I think Humanoid can take on Jensen. Now, beat him, I have no clue because that depends on how they actually play the game. Look, Xerxes over Xmithy. Is that even a debate, honestly? And now you go back to top lane. Impact and Chachi depends on what role they're playing in the game. We know that top lane has converted itself into a flexible priority lane. And people keep saying that top lane doesn't have all the priority. That's crazy. Top lane has all the prio right now. Top lane has all the priority in terms of you pairing up with your jungler and taking over the 2v2. We've seen it consistently, and we've seen this happen over the course of the patches, and we've seen it happen over the course of a lot of times throughout the world play-ins and leading up to the best of fives. That has actually just happened. Now, if Damwon make it in, that's gonna be tricky, because it's not necessarily that TL are worse than Damwon, because people are always going to be like, oh my god, Nightwing, you said Damwon is worse than TL. Oh my god, you're an NA biased lover or hater or whatever people say on the internet nowadays. No, you have to understand, guys, these TL players aren't bad, and people keep sleeping on them. Yes, if people say TL, people actually think TL is overrated. What? No one's overrating TL. Are you nuts? People say just don't sleep on them. So somehow in 2019, if I say don't sleep on someone, I'm overrating them. What? People are dumb. Like, people on Reddit are actually stupid. But nonetheless, what I'm saying is, okay, so basically what we know from Damwon more recently is that their coach in an open interview said they're actually playing really bad. They need to get rid of their stage jitters, etc. They actually haven't had that good win rate in scrims against the other teams. And with that being said, I don't believe someone would actually say that if it wasn't actually being true. Like, there's no coach that would go on record and go like, yeah, my team's losing, just to joke around and be like, yeah, my team's losing, my team sucks. You know, yeah, we got stage shooters. No one admits that and is not telling the truth. I believe he is kind of maybe over exaggerating that type of sentence and what he actually said, but I don't believe that he would say that out of the place of like, if your team's winning, you're not gonna say anything. You're gonna keep things a relative secret, because I believe revealing that type of information can actually be something that more or less so hurts your team and gives other teams confidence in order to beat your team. Now, looking at how TL would play versus Damwon, I could see them obviously playing through bot lane. They're gonna play through bot lane no matter what. Damwon doesn't play through bot lane. Their bot lane is actually pretty weak, and they're gonna get exposed at some point. Now, Showmaker, Naguri, and Canyon is going to be the test, because their top side is better than TL's top side. We saw Naguri, Showmaker, and Naguri, and Canyon take over games completely. So, can TL match them? I don't know. They couldn't match Faker and SKT at MSI. They couldn't match Kingzone at the previous MSI. You know, so they have this really, really bad track record against Korean teams. They're 0-4 against the last Korean teams they have faced. They lost to Kingzone twice in 2018 MSI. Then they lost to KT Rolster twice. That's 0-4. And then, my bad, I need to correct myself. They're 0-6 against Korean teams. Guys, they are bad against Korean teams. They are 0-6 Korean teams. And these are number 1 seeds that I'm talking about. Now, this is a number 3 seed. If you can't beat a number 3 seed, NA's number 1 seed is weaker than a Korean 3rd seed. Now, it depends on if they go 1-1, then it's relatively even. I'll say that. But if you lose 0-2 to them, then that means TL is 0. It will be around like 0-8 against Korean teams. Remember, Kings only lost twice. KT Rolls only lost twice. SKT lost twice. That's 0-6. They have not beaten a Korean team. And I believe they can. They have the caliber of players to do it. It just depends on what Damwon or what TL we get during the day. Now let's realistically base it off of if they face IG, because I'm sorry, HQ fans out there, you're not going to be competition at all. Let's be completely honest here. I could give you theories and scenarios in which HQ could be TL. Cheese picks. They dominate a lane where they basically just camp it, and or there's a star player I'm sleeping on right now in HQ that's going to show up in the group. It's possible. I believe the only other competition that IG are actually going to have is TL, and a lot of people are sleeping on IG. I feel like IG are going to get first place in the group. I might be wrong. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's my own personal opinion. If you don't like it, you can get the hell off my channel, because I don't give a I don't actually give a damn. But, okay, so how do TL beat IG? The same way they beat them at MSI. Not exactly with the same picks. Obviously, the meta has changed since then. But the same way they beat IG is the same way they need to beat them now. It's just how that needs to work. Because since they've already beat IG before, it's not improbable that they could beat them again. The issue is they beat IG in a best of 5. They didn't beat them in best of 1s. They were competitive. TL were more competitive against IG in certain games than other teams at the event. That's a clear-cut known fact. The issue is, can they be competitive and win against them is the thing. You have to be competitive and win. Like, I don't really care if you're even with them, you're going back and forth, you're getting dragons. Sure, that makes for a good spectacle of the game, but you have to win. Like, I understand they're going to be weaker in certain positions because IG has verbatim the better players. IG right now have the jungler issue, and TL with the stable jungler could be able to beat him. How TL beat IG? Same way to MSI. Comfortable picks, you know, obviously taking smart team fights. You can't give IG the wrong team fight or they win the game. So beat them the exact same way you beat them at MSI in your best of 5, and you're good to go. And then I could possibly see TL and Cloud9 making out of groups. Clutch, I'm so sorry. You know, I don't know what to say to you, Clutch. Good year. You went from 9th place to world groups. That's an accomplishment in itself. So, yeah, just wanted to kind of give you guys this video. Obviously, I wanted to give you guys something since I had to delete that video because of the bad audio issues. Like I said before, I've been doing YouTube since 2015, so I know what good quality to put out, and I didn't notice for an entire day, and I was like, no, they don't deserve that. I know better than that, and I chose to delete it. So I'll give you guys a play-in video and the best of 5 recap together, so I'll have a longer discussion video, and then obviously in 5 more days we get Worlds Group, so we can get our predictions for Worlds Group because we're obviously going to have all of the groups filled out and we'll know who's going where, because the biggest question right now is where's Damwon and Splice gonna go. You know, that's really the big question about it. So see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. I'm the Nightwing, and Wave Life Esports is signing out. Peace. You guys have a great day. Happy fun playing League.
Hi there, guys! Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff.
Yeah, thank you.